I'm Nicholas Kazonis.
I'm Alex Akers.
I'm Nikolter Janikowski.
I'm Ray Vick. And we are caught on Cline.
Well, as far as Caught on Cline goes, we have a very diverse musical background between us all. So we often describe it as a mixture between R&B, jazz, funk, even flavors of hip-hop. But then the interesting part about us is that we have an Eastern flavor. Nick has a strong Greek background, musical background, as well as this Nick having Macedonian background. So really, when we mix those Eastern styles with the Western styles that we already have going on, we get this unique blend of genre that is very eclectic in itself. So there's no one genre that we would place ourselves under, but rather an umbrella of multiple genres.
I've known this guy, I don't even know. I went to high school with Ray, and we were in drumline together.
Yep. Sophomore year on to what? Junior?
Till senior.
Yeah,
I was
senior.
there all 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if you stayed another year after me, but.
Yeah, I did.
Nick and I have known each other since like 6th grade, so lifelong friends. And Alex, we've known Alex for 2 years?
Yeah, just coming up to 2 years. I'm kind of the odd man out, being from, well, you know, you guys grew up together. Got to meet them about 2 years.
6th grade with Nick and
8th grade.
8th grade with Ray.
Yep, we did a whole lot between 2 years of knowing this guy.
Yeah.
Form the band, but what inspires you guys to make music together?
I want to say it's just our energy, it just feels natural.
I agree.
It just feels natural. when we show up for rehearsal and the second somebody starts playing on their instrument, it just feels like that's what it's supposed to be.
Feels very organic for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I had a vision for the group, it was a lot of it was I wanted something that would help to create a character that was different from any other kind of music that was out there, and being able to break down social barriers and cultural barriers, taking different styles of music that were basically not really, I mean, yeah, not existing. I mean, how often do you hear of a Macedonian dance rhythm with a Greek bouzouki and an R&B singer on it? It's very different than anything that you can kind of compare to, at least to the confines of anything that I've heard before. So that really was a big inspiration to me, and that's when I knew that it was the fact that we had such an organic connection when we were playing. That was really the way that I kind of followed through.
Makes it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say that music is such an inherent part of each one of us. You know, we're often referred to as a musician's band. Well, you know, I'm a teacher. You know, Nick is a semi-truck driver. Nick's a professional musician and teacher as well, and then Ray does carpentering. But you know, music is absolutely the root of, I would say, each one of us.
Walk through me. Now I hope to find in my lifetime a girl like her. What she did to me, and the way she walked out the door, leaving me wanting more. standing right on the shore, and I've never been more sure. Now I know I've got to find, I really hope to find my gypsy eyes, oh my gypsy eyes.
Sapevamo noi avena, I cardiamo ideea sena, Ueklam se sta maglia o cama. Sapevamo noi avena, I cardiamo ideea sena.
You have the opportunity to hook them at that moment. So it may be a 50-minute show, but there's going to be something during that moment that is going to be memorable to them. Whether it be, oh, when he took that crazy bass solo, he put his foot up on the bass drum and he was like getting into the crowd. Whatever that moment is, there's things that you can't explain about how you felt, but you can explain what happened. And that's what I like to do, is give people that moment. And the second thing is, you know, part of our mission is being able to create that new perception of things, and having that live connection, that real human element right there, that gives the opportunity to become a mirror. And when you become a mirror, if someone sees that you're having a good time and you're having something that is special for them, it's just you're releasing that mirror image, that energy back and forth, essentially.
Well, as far as the trumpet goes, you know, going back to when I started taking the trumpet much more seriously in high school, jazz trumpet players like obviously Miles Davis, Freddie Hubbard, Lee Morgan, Clifford Brown, a lot of the bebop players, you know, Dizzy Gillespie, of course, but you know, jazzers of all different instruments influenced me. So, you know, I was a big Charlie Parker fan, a big John Coltrane fan. So a lot of my musical influences early on were jazz players, but at the same time I was interested in all sorts of other genres of music. So, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Nile Rodgers, the Harlem Funkadelic, you know, musicians that they had making huge statements also influenced my playing.
Biggest influences in music?
Oh, wow. So I would have to say vocally it would be Stevie Wonder, Bill Withers, mostly because of the amount of just pure soul, the spirit that comes out of their music. I just really can connect to their lyrics pretty heavily, especially Bill Withers. He's definitely my all-time favorite singer-songwriter.
I take what I do so seriously is because you never know who you inspire. I'm actually inspired by a group of rappers. You know, I love hip hop, so it's more of I'm inspired by the way they deliver their music. You know, it's more about like Bone Thugs and Harmony, Busta Rhymes. I love Outkast as a group, but a lot of the guys I really like Ludacris, they're real percussive. And I listened to those guys for so many years. I got a lot of my licks just from listening to, you know, spoken word in the form of hip hop. And that's really important to me.
What is most important to you when performing Caught on Cline music?
Caught on Cline music, if you know anything about how I used to play compared to how I played on Caught on Cline's album, some people would say, man, you kind of played like a seasoned vet, like an older guy. You sound like an older guy on that music. And it was more because I didn't want to put a whole lot of hip hop and different, you know, funk things in there. I wanted to put exactly what the music was supposed to be. And I really, really respect Caught on Cline music. And I guess that's what helps gel instead of, you know, twerking it and trying to make it into something that's not.
I really didn't get into different kinds of music until I got, you know, until middle school. And at that time it was mainly just, you know, mainstream stuff. I didn't really start exploring until about after high school, and that's when I got into the whole funk and jazz world and, you know, things that are just brand new, different styles that people don't even really, you know, just somebody says, oh, hey, check these guys out. And it's just friends of a friend, and their style is completely, you know, original. But I'd say about 80% of it is just Macedonian music. That was like a 2 to 3 month process. I was right when we formed. The first thing I started thinking of was, oh my God, guys, we need a band name. And I was super excited about it. Every day, being that I'm a truck driver, you I'm just on the road, I'm thinking of this, thinking of that. I'd show up for rehearsal and I'd be like, guys, I got it. Some kind of dumb name. And I get shot down. Then next week, another dumb name and I get shot down. And then there was one day I didn't come up with anything. We were just sitting there and Alex comes a little bit late. And he goes, sorry guys, I was calling on Cline instruction. I just stand up and yell, that's it. That's it, we got it. That's it. That's it. That's the name.
Yeah, Nick's quite the comedian, so half the time we didn't know if the names that he was suggesting were serious or not. So we kind of just got to the point where we didn't accept anything that he said.
There were some funny ones I couldn't let go. I had to bring to the table.
But those are not PG-13, so we don't say those on camera.
Yeah, we let that marinate for a while after me showing up to the rehearsal late, and then
It was a few weeks.
it stuck with us. And the definition of a climb, as Nick often refers to, is a never-ending slope. And it's funny because the name was kind of spur of the moment when we came up with it. However, it's grown in its meaning for us because everyone at some point you're always on some type of slope, whether it be up or down. And going back to breaking social and cultural barriers, everyone is somewhere in their life. They're either headed in a good direction or maybe a direction that they need to get change. But it's taken on a meaning that we didn't really realize it would take on, which is that you're always going to be headed in a certain direction, and it's up to you to decide whether that's the direction for you or not.
Please let me do what I know is so true. Let my love all out. Making music all about good vibes all around. What's lost can still be found.